In this video, I'm going to review Beaver Builder 2.0, which is a page builder for WordPress. I am in a unique position to review it because I use it on a daily basis, so I definitely am very much in touch with its strengths and very much in touch with the weaknesses of this page builder. Hi, my name is Adam from WPCrafter.com, where I make WordPress tutorial videos for non-techies. If you're new here, consider clicking on the subscribe button. If you don't want to miss a thing, click on the bell off to the right, and YouTube will let you know when I have a new video. All the links to anything I talk about in this video will be in the video description box down below. And just as a point of reference, the page you're looking at right here, this was built with Beaver Builder. I do have Beaver Builder on this site right here. The reason I wanted to make this video is because I actually use Beaver Builder. I'm not someone that played around with it for 5 minutes and then all of a sudden has all these opinions about it. No, I've been using this and I'm very much in touch with where it does a great job and where it could use some improvement. And I'm going to highlight all those in this video so that you can make the best decision for your circumstances and in your situation. So let's just jump over to Beaver Builder's website. Now, one neat thing, I do know they're actually redesigning this website of theirs, which I do think is going to be a good idea. So let's take a look at the pricing so I can kind of explain it. Now, there's actually 4 different versions. Right here you see 3. There's another one because there's actually a free version of Beaver Builder. However, it is very stripped down and it's probably not what you're going to want to use. With Beaver Builder, it's more for like demo purposes to get comfortable with the interface. There are a lot of people that do use the free version. However, I'm going to tell you that this is really something where you want the paid version of it. They have these 3 plans here. Let me explain the differences really quick. On the standard plan for $99, this is just the page builder and you would have to supply your own theme, which is okay because there's a lot of WordPress themes that will work perfectly with Beaver Builder. One of them that I'm going to use in this review video when I actually show you a demo of Beaver Builder. The second option is the Pro plan. It's $100 more. The only difference is that it includes a theme that Beaver Builder makes so that it's made to work perfectly with Beaver Builder. Now, a lot of people that end up going with this plan, they do because they want to get a theme from them. So they're only dealing with one company when it comes to any support that you would need or updates. They tend to go with the Beaver Builder theme and they get this package right here. Then there's the agency package. The only difference is you can actually use this on WordPress multi-site. I never really talk about WordPress multi-site because I don't like using it and there's problems and it's very difficult. And also with the agency plan, you can white label the page builder. So if you are, and I think the theme as well, you can white label both. So if you're building websites for clients and you don't want them to see Beaver Builder here, Beaver Builder there, you can white label it and make it say whatever you want it to say. That's a new thing lately. People wanting everything white labeled. So these are the 3 options here. Just so you know, I used to have the Pro plan. Now I have the standard plan and I have my own theme that I use. So here we are. I set up a new WordPress installation. And what I want to do right now is give you a quick demo of and a kind of a little walkthrough of the interface. And then I want to talk about some of the strengths and weaknesses of Beaver Builder. So what I'm doing here is I have the Beaver Builder plugin installed, just a page builder. Now for a theme, I'm using the free Astra theme and it is in the WordPress directory. So if you went to themes, add new, did a search for Astra, it's going to pop right up. I find that this is probably the fastest theme that will work with any page builder, but it's also very intuitive. So when I want to create a new page and I want to use Beaver Builder, it's going to realize I'm using Beaver Builder and adjust some settings to accommodate it, like make it full width and remove the title. This is something no other themes really do, and that's one of the reasons I'm using Astra. Another reason is because I've installed this free plugin called Astra Starter Sites, and what that allows me to do, let me show you. I can go to Starter Sites right here under Appearance. It allows me with just 2 mouse clicks to install any of these complete website designs right here that have been made and built with Beaver Builder. So literally I just click on preview, click on install, and I have a full website. So because of that, Look at the website I have all going on right here. I'm actually in the builder right now. That's why you see all this stuff going on, but I'll explain that in a moment. So that's why I went with Astra and Astra starter sites. Both are free, and I can have a Beaver Builder based website with just a few mouse clicks. Now, when you install Beaver Builder, there's going to be a new option underneath settings, and it's going to be right here where it says Page Builder. And this is where you can pop your license code in, and this is where you would enable Beaver Builder to be used on different post types. So I think, where is that? Right here, post types. By default, it only is configured out of the box to work with pages, but if I also want to use it on blog posts, I could click this box right here and click on Save Post Types. If you had any special custom things going on your website, you would probably want to come here and enable Beaver Builder on those pages. And there's other options here that you can come to for Beaver Builder, but you don't really spend much time in here, I find. Most of your experience with Beaver Builder is you're going to go to Pages or Posts. You're going to go ahead, you're going to click on Add New, and there's going to be this option right here for the Page Builder, and that's to tell your theme that you want to build this with Beaver Builder. So let me go ahead and go into one of these existing pages that I've built, and we'll take a look at the interface real quick of Beaver Builder. So I'm going to go ahead and click right here where it says Page Builder. This essentially is Beaver Builder. What's really nice to note is some of the details that the developers have put into Beaver Builder. So if you notice, when I'm hovering over contact or commercial or any of these, and you see Page Builder, you see a little dot off to the right of it. That lets you know that you actually built this page with Beaver Builder. I really like little touches like that are built into the tools I use to make them smart. So I'm going to go ahead and click on Page Builder, and what it's going to do is it's going to open this up, the page in the Beaver Builder interface. Now, I reviewed the first version of Beaver Builder, and I've been using Beaver Builder for 2 years. And when version 2 was just released a month ago, it brought a lot of new features. It addressed a lot of the complaints that I had about Beaver Builder, the first version, and it really brought in a new interface. So first, when you go into a new page with Beaver Builder, all you're going to notice is this bar here at the top. Now, off on the left, there's a drop down right here. And when you go like this, you're going to see some options that you have, like save. But if you notice off to the right of these options, you see keyboard shortcuts. I really like keyboard shortcuts, and here is a perfect example of a great implementation of keyboard shortcuts, because the biggest problem with keyboard shortcuts is remembering the keyboard shortcut. So over time, I'm sure you'll come here and see these options right here and get very comfortable with it. One of the things I really like is there's a user interface color option. So I can click right here where it says change UI brightness, and now I'm in dark mode. I really like dark mode on most of the things that I use that has that option. So let me just talk about some of these options right here, and then I'm going to show you how you actually start adding and manipulating content in Beaver Builder, and then I'll get into the strengths and the weaknesses of Beaver Builder. So here's save, duplicate. I really like how they have this duplicate option, because what I've noticed in a lot of page builders is they don't have a duplicate option. And a lot of times, if you've created something great, you're going to want to reuse it. And that's what I like about this duplicate layout option. Preview, revisions, they have a fantastic revision manager. So what a revision is every time you clicked on the save button, now you have a saved revision that you can go back in time and restore if you're testing different designs out. And they've really done a good job of implementing the revisions. They did not have this in the first version of Beaver Builder. I have used it several times, and I've been very impressed with this revision option right here. Layout, CSS, and JavaScript. I really like this. It allows you to put custom CSS on a page-by-page basis. The reason you want to do this is because you might want it just for that page, so why load it on all the other pages? Some global settings right here. Let's just take a quick look at them. Did you notice how fast that popped up? So right here, just some CSS selector options, some default margins that you might want to implement, some CSS for the global, all the pages you've done in Beaver Builder. I don't really come in here that option. This is actually something that's very nice, and a lot of people, you don't really see this in all the other page builders, is you have control over the responsive breakpoints. So you have it here for medium devices, which is tablets, and small devices, which is cell phones. So this gives you more control over when a page on your website will respond and shrink down to that next device size. Let me go ahead and click on cancel and get back into here. So that was your global settings. And we already talked about the brightness. That's to put this into dark mode. WordPress admin's just going to kick you out of Beaver Builder. You've got some help options right here and here. Actually, I've never clicked on keyboard shortcuts. This is just going to give you a reminder of the keyboard shortcuts. Actually, you can even modify these keyboard shortcuts if you wanted to change them to be something else. I have instructions on that over on my website. Now, if you want to add anything to this page or post that you're creating, now you're just going to go ahead and click on this plus, and it's going to pop open like this and give you a list of your modules. Now, they changed this a lot from version 1 to version 2. There's a lot of neat things with it, and they had to really figure out how are we going to fit all of these options in this floating box right here. So right here, you're going to immediately be given the options of the various modules where you can just drag and drop them anywhere on your layout. So it comes with some basic modules right here, which is video, heading, audio, text editor, separator, HTML, which you'll drop short codes in or embed codes. Those are the common things you're going to use that for. A button and your photo options, and there's media options, and there's all these various options here which are actually very nice. Now we're going to have these tabs up here, so if you wanted to click on rows, then it's going to take us into our row layouts. If you have templates and you click on templates, it's going to show them. Beaver Builder does come with some page templates. I personally haven't found a good use for them. I do think that's an area that they could really improve on. They do have a bunch of templates. Some of them are okay. I just find them a little on the bland and plain side. And here is the grouping of landing pages. So I can go here and switch between the different groups of landing pages. And then right here is saved. This is probably, I think, my favorite feature with Beaver Builder is on every different level, you can save and reuse portions of what you create. So you can save your entire page. That's fine. But you can also save a row that you created, and it can have a whole bunch of things going on, and you can save and reuse that. Even all the way down to columns and modules, you can save all of that and reuse it. Actually, let me back up. You're not saving columns, but you can save the content in columns, the modules, and reuse it. I find this very useful for me. And you can also set different saved items to be global. So that means, say this part right here, if I wanted to put that on every page, but then later on, say it's on 10 pages and I want to change the wording, I don't have to go to every single page to change it. I could make it global. So if I change it on one page, it'll change on all of the pages. And I would say this is probably one of the strong suits with Beaver Builder. Some of the other page builders don't quite have this reusability like that. You can save things, but you don't quite have the power. One of the other very popular page builders, you can only save and make global an individual module. So it can't be this whole chunk of design that you put together. It could be just this little tiny piece, which makes it to be kind of a pain in the rear end. But with Beaver Builder, you don't have those problems. So that's the rows right here, and let's just jump back into modules. Now, one thing I'll talk about later, some of these add-on packages for Beaver Builder, and what you're going to do is when you activate those, it's going to add some new modules and new features, and typically the way you're going to get to it is they're going to be in a different group. So on this, I have one of them installed, so if I go to group and I click on it, here are those modules, and the name of it is UABB, and this is the UABB modules. So you have that there. Now, I got to tell you, as someone that uses this all the time, I don't sit there and scroll through modules. You're going to just know the name of what you like, and you're going to click on the little search here, and you're just going to do a quick search for it, because to scroll through module after module after module, it's a little tedious. So you're going to find yourself using this search all the time. I really like that they have this search option there. Now, I didn't show you some of the superpowers behind this new interface, and this is a new interface that works the way that you want it to work. So let me try to demonstrate this. You see how there's this kind of a marking right here, and when I move my mouse cursor over it, the mouse cursor changes. And this is to indicate that I can click my mouse and I can literally drag and drop this anywhere. Now, if I let go right here, it snaps right back. But watch this. When I start dragging it, you see on the left of the screen and the right of the screen, you see those blue markings. And that means I can drag and dock this settings panel right there. And now my settings panel will be docked and everything will be on the right, and it will always show this settings panel. And I can do the same thing to move it off to the right. Now, I really like this feature. And this was one of the things I didn't like about the first version of Beaver Builder. It would always tend to these pop-up boxes would just get in the way, and I didn't really like that. One of the side nice things about this, if I want to edit anything, so I've got this block of text, when I click on it, what it's going to do is it's going to open it up here on the right in that docked panel, so nothing is ever covering my design. Now let me show you the alternative of that. So when I undock it and I let go, it's going to have the pop-up right here in the middle. Now I can actually move this anywhere I want, and this will pop up the same, and I can even resize it. So if I go ahead and let me click on cancel, and now I want to change this bit of text and I click on it, I get this pop-up that kind of blocks what I am doing. And so this is one of the things that I really like about the dock. You don't have that problem anymore. Unless you want it, unless you like it, you can have it. But I like to keep mine docked there on the left. Now, one of the things when you are editing anything, all the various options that used to be visible in different tabs, they're now going to be in this options right here. So you see for this particular model or module, it has list item, general, topography, and anything over 3, it's going to be crunched into a little drop down right here, which is the only other option, which is advanced. So if there happen to be more option panels for this particular module, they would all be listed right here. And that advanced one you find yourself in a lot because that's where you find your spacing for the different items that you may be in. So let me undock this and let me go ahead and click on cancel so we can see the full design. Now, the way any page builder works is it's going to be broken down into rows, and these rows can have columns in them, and inside those columns you're going to place modules of content. Now, on your rows and your columns, you can do different things with the background. You can put background images or background colors. There's all these different things you could do with the background. Now, when you're using Beaver Builder, you notice I've got my cursor right here and I see 2 boxes. I see one that is highlighted in blue, and then just above that, I see one that's highlighted in that gray color. This is to let you know the one in blue is actually a module that I'm working on, and the one in gray is actually the row that I am in. So let me give you a better example. So right here, if I click on this right here, it's letting me know this is a module in a row. And when I go up here, that gray is the actual row. So if I want to change any of the settings in the row, I would go ahead and click on the wrench, and it says right there, row settings, just to make it more obvious for you. So let me pull over our row settings. So your typical row settings are just going to be the width. Is it a full width? Is it contained? And when you scroll down, you have the options for the colors of the elements that are the modules. I use these different terms all the time, interchangeably: modules, elements, widgets, all of that. So it allows you to choose the colors that are going to be applied to everything inside of that container, and also to set the background. Here are our background options. You have no background, color, photo, video. So it's nice. You can put a background video very easily. You can have a slideshow in the background. That's a very neat feature. A lot of people use it, and you can use it in very subtle ways. There is the parallax effect. People like that a lot. And the add-on package that I've installed has a background gradient option. This is not something that's in the default of Beaver Builder. And then there's more options down here. So these are your typical row options. And to move anything around, you have these little move markers right here, and you can start moving anything anywhere that you want it. Now, to save a row or a module, it's super easy. So right here, I could click on the wrench, and if you noticed right here, there is an option to save as. When I click on it, I can give this a name, and I can choose if I want this to be global or not. That's some of your power features to Beaver Builder. And that's pretty much the user interface right there. Now, one of the things that they really improved upon with version 2 is the speed. So if you notice when I click on here, it pops up and it gives me the option to start editing it very, very fast. Whereas before in version 1, it was actually very slow. And if you didn't have really good or decent performance web hosting environment, it would be even slower. In fact, this was one of my biggest complaints on Beaver Builder version 1, and I'm happy to say that they heard that from all the people that might have brought it up, and they went ahead and made a change to how the page builder works in order to make it be near instant, just like you saw. Then when you're done with your page, you would go ahead and click on the done button. It will reveal these options to discard your changes, save this as a draft, or click on the publish to publish. And when you click on publish, you see it publishes very, very fast. So that is Beaver Builder in a nutshell. Now, what we should talk about though now is some of the strengths of Beaver Builder, and then get into some of the weaknesses of Beaver Builder. First of all, Beaver Builder is built by a solid company that's not going anywhere. Okay. They have been in business. I think this came out in 2014, and it's been very, very successful venture for them. Let me scroll down. I think they have a picture on the bottom. There they are. So I'll let you know that I've personally in person met Justin, and I've personally in person met Robbie a few months back and had lots of talk about Beaver Builder version 2. And I'll say the two best things that could be said about Beaver Builder. Number one, it has a very reliable team. It's a very reliable company. They're not going anywhere. That's huge. Number two, I would say they probably have the most reliable page builder for WordPress, but there's some reasons I'll talk about why when I talk about some of the negatives here with Beaver Builder, the things they can improve upon. That's a nice way of saying it. And but what I want to say is that if you say have a web development company or an agency and people are counting on you to deliver reliable website solutions that don't break, that never have problems, that are super reliable, I don't think never having problems is even possible. But if that is your situation where there's a lot riding on updates not breaking anything, I think your best chance at having the reliability that you really need is going to be with the Beaver Builder solution. It really is. They are so careful in what they add to Beaver Builder and how they update it, and then how attentive they are after an update to fix anything that might go wrong. And you only know this as having used it for a long time and being part of the experiencing all the updates and how things have gone wrong and been fixed. And I'll tell you, very few things have ever gone wrong with a Beaver Builder update. And the very few times something went wrong, it was a very minor thing, and it was fixed probably within 6 hours, which is pretty fantastic for fixes to get pushed out that quick. So those are the two biggest strengths of Beaver Builder. Another big strength is a product that I didn't talk about that they just released maybe 7 months ago. It's a product that I'm using as well. It's called Beaver Themer. Now, they have this banner right here. If I click on it, it could take us over to Beaver Themer's page. I do have a ton of content on Beaver Themer. It's kind of one of those things that if you can grasp what it does, you're just mind blown, right? You're like, wow, now I can do so much more. But it's also one of those things that it's kind of hard to describe in a nutshell what it does. You can check out their page right here if you want to see more about it. And I have a whole playlist on everything that you can do with it. So essentially what it's going to allow you to do is there are certain parts of your website that are traditionally built and controlled from a design standpoint by your theme. And this would be your headers and your footers, your blog posts, something called archive pages and 404 pages. Okay. I might have hit them all right there. Very good. These are things typically controlled by your theme, but there's no real easy way to change the way they look unless your theme provider has that all built in, and very few themes actually do. So what they did is they said, people were coming to them saying, I want to do this with Beaver Builder. Why can't I build a header with Beaver Builder? Why can't I build a footer with Beaver Builder? So what they did is they built a tool called Beaver Themer that essentially allows you to do all of this. Now, Beaver Themer is not cheap. It's an additional purchase. It's another $147. However, if you need what Beaver Themer does for you, that price is like nothing. I mean, nothing. I use Beaver Themer. And so I wanted to say a strength of Beaver Builder is that you have the option of adding Beaver Themer to it. And so for more info on Beaver Themer, just go ahead and check out my videos on Beaver Themer. Okay, so now that we've sugarcoated everything, let's talk about the things that you probably are watching this video to know, and that are what are some of the weaknesses that Beaver Builder has. And I'm certainly going to be the one that shares that, but it's not sharing it in I'm trying to be mean or harsh or not give these guys a fair shake. It's more, these are things that I wish they would improve, but some of these things they're not going to improve because that's not the direction that they're headed, and that's okay as well. So the first thing is that, in my opinion, it's not even my opinion, it is just what it is. They're very methodical and slow to add any new features. So if you're looking at Beaver Builder, you have to buy it for what it is today, and don't hope for it to be able to do this fancy thing or that fancy thing in the future, because it might do that, but you don't want to bet any money on that because they're very methodical and slow to build in new features. And this has been my experience over the years. And that actually feeds into why the update process is so reliable. A lot of the things that they're putting in these updates are things that are more catering to higher level developers or mid-level developers. They're not updates that are catering to maybe the guy that only has a couple websites or one website. So they're very slow to add these in-demand features. Actually, I just added a new word to it, in-demand features. And what this has done is it's opened up a third-party add-on marketplace, I guess you could say, for Beaver Builder. And so essentially what I'm trying to say is if you want a flashy, fancy, really cool, neat, design-wise new feature for Beaver Builder, you're not going to get it from Beaver Builder. They are going to let you either use some custom code to do it yourself, or you're going to need an add-on package. Now, these add-on packages, they're not so expensive. They're, I think it's what, $69 or so. They're $69 for these various add-on packages that are going to add templates, and it's going to add a bunch of pre-designed stuff and also some new modules and new enhanced features. We bumped into a couple of those when we were looking at Beaver Builder just a second ago. Now, that's both a pro and a con, I think, for Beaver Builder itself. And the problem that I think it is because I think a lot of these things Beaver Builder should build, because now you're dealing with two companies where there's two different things that could go wrong. So if you had Beaver Builder and their updates are super reliable, but now you have this third-party plugin and they could push out an update and it can cause a problem and they can kind of step on top of each other, it can be not so good. And that has been in my experience. There's two main add-on providers. One of them I've had a really good experience with, and the other one I've installed on my own website, and I've had lots of problems with the modules that it offers that I've chosen to use on my website. I've had weird issues with it and I don't know what's wrong, and I have to wait for them to push out an update, which takes a few days. And usually the problems are related to different web browsers. So they'll put a new feature or just something will just automatically stop working right. And now all of a sudden on Safari, it doesn't look right, but it looks fine on Chrome. I've run into a lot of problems like that with one particular add-on provider, not the other one, but just this one. I've had these various problems. So the thing that stinks about that is I found myself in a situation where every time I update plugins, now I've got to go and spot check the front end of clear my cache, and then spot check everything on the front end of my website where I've used those add-on packages that I know have been problematic. It's just been super unreliable. Beaver Builder is reliable, but when they give too much flexibility for these third-party solutions to come in and just kind of say, well, let them build it, we're not going to build it, you have these potential problems, and I actually don't like that aspect of Beaver Builder. A really good example of that recently is Beaver Builder 2.0 just came out, and it doesn't have something that I think it should have called inline editing. And what inline editing is so for example, if I wanted to edit this text right here, inline editing, you would just click on it and start editing it. With Beaver Builder, it doesn't work like that. You would click on it, you wait for a pop-up, you edit the text in the pop-up. And I felt very strongly that Beaver Builder should add inline editing, and they've just kind of let a third-party developer do it for an additional cost that, if you want this inline editing, now you have to pay this additional cost in order to get the inline editing. And also, I will say that since that happened, Beaver Builder said they're going to put inline editing in Beaver Builder 2.0, which I'm sure will be out in the next month or several months. You'll have that inline editing. But I just feel like they should do more to add these types of features in Beaver Builder and not have such a dependence upon these third-party developers, because for you that means additional cost, additional potential problems. I've experienced it myself when some of these things could really just be added to Beaver Builder directly. And so I think that would be probably one of my biggest criticisms of Beaver Builder. Now, the other criticism, and I'm not going to be so nice on this one, and this is actually the only other thing that I think is needs improvement with Beaver Builder. Let me get back into the builder. Let me just say it as straight and as harsh and as direct as possible. Mobile editing in Beaver Builder completely sucks, in my opinion. This is 2018. It should be super easy to create versions that have lots of the little tweaks you need in order for it to look good on a mobile device. And in Beaver Builder, I think this is one area where they've really dropped the ball. You have other page builders that have dedicated mobile editing experiences on a per device basis. And what I mean by that is you click a button and now you can see how it looks on a tablet view, and you can start making all of the changes and have a pretty accurate representation of what it's going to look like on a tablet. And then you can click on mobile and have a pretty accurate representation of what it's going to look like on a mobile device. With Beaver Builder, it's probably part of it is these third-party add-ons, and everybody's got to play nice together. But what happens is you really don't get an accurate representation of what it's going to look like on a mobile device. It's like Here, let's just try to replicate the issue right here. So if I go into preview mode, I can jump back into the builder. I can go into preview layout, and then we have this option here to see what it would look like on a mobile device. Now, I already know this is not how it looks like on a mobile device. So we've already got that out of the way, that the mobile editor experience in the preview really stinks in Beaver Builder. Here is the tablet view, and here's the desktop view. Obviously, the desktop's going to be accurate, and there. So this is actually just viewing it. I can't like click on anything and actually change it here. So the thing that you would think is I could go ahead and just click on it and start editing it. And, you know, you look at this and you're like, oh my gosh, there's a problem. The font is too big. That's not how it actually looks like on a mobile device, though. So you really, it's a disaster of a mobile editing experience, because what you should be able to do is see what it looks like on a mobile device, have it be pretty accurate, and then you could go in there and start editing things. However, what you have to do instead is you have to go module by module, make your edit, save it, publish it, then view it on a mobile device to see if that's actually how it looks. It's pretty bad. It's pretty bad. This is, you know, this looks pretty bad right here, right? But this is not at all how it looks like on a mobile device. So their mobile preview is really bad. So let me show you where some of the mobile editing options are on Beaver Builder. So the main thing you're going to have, let's go into a row setting right here. So a lot of these options are going to be found under advanced. So I'll go here. Any part that has this little monitor, you can click on it and you can make specific edits to that setting on a per device basis. So we have it here for margins, we have it here for padding, and here's actually something else that's really cool. You can choose to display a row or certain different parts of your site on a per device basis. This is actually a very good feature that they have. It's actually pretty standard as well. So here is the margin. It's set to 0, but if I click on this, it now looks like a little tablet here, and it goes into the tablet view. And if I click on this again, it goes into the mobile view, and I could make changes to these settings right here, and it will be just applied to the mobile version of your website. So now we look here and we say, okay, I've got a problem with this, and what the problem is this isn't an accurate representation of how it looks like on a mobile device. And then say I did change this font right here to be something that would look right on a mobile device, and then I went to edit something else. Well, it's not going to show the mobile version of that anymore. It's just, you know, I'm expressing a lot of frustration on the mobile editing of Beaver Builder. I don't want to get too down this wormhole with it. I just want to say this. If you're considering getting Beaver Builder, go ahead and install the free version and test it out, this mobile editing experience. It's going to be exactly what I'm showing you right here. And just try to see how easy it is to get this to look pixel perfect to how you want it to look on a mobile device and on a tablet device. And you're probably going to find that it's a bit on the tedious side. It's totally doable. Don't get me wrong. It's totally doable, except it's very tedious to get perfect. On a basic layout, you're probably not going to have so much trouble, but on a more complex layout that you might want to have a little bit more going on with it, it's going to be on the tedious side. So anyways, that is the mobile editing experience. It's not that it's not doable to have a great looking website for a mobile device using Beaver Builder. It's just that it's going to be a little bit more work, and it's going to be a little bit more tedious than I think it needs to be. And it's one of the areas that I think that they really need to improve upon, just to make it as easy as possible, because it's super important to make sure your website designs look great on all devices. So that's pretty much going to be all the cons I'm really going to hit on with Beaver Builder. You can see it's not major. It's not like it's anything that they can't improve upon on their own. I will say the whole issue of them adding new features, I don't think they want to, because they're more interested in just having having it be stable and reliable. Although I don't think adding new features makes something unstable and unreliable, I do though feel that if you're going to buy Beaver Builder, buy it for how it is today. Now, lastly, I just want to talk about who I think this is for, Beaver Builder is for, and I think I already hit a lot of that in this video. It really depends on what your goals are or what your priorities are when it comes to your website. If it's reliability number one, then Beaver Builder is a great option for you, especially if you are going to have client websites that you manage. You might want to have the path of least resistance there. However, you do have to take in consideration that you're probably going to need a third-party add-on, which could bring in issues that Beaver Builder doesn't really have a lot of control over. Now, if you're more interested in modern design, it's going to be a little harder to get that out of Beaver Builder without adding any kind of custom CSS to get really modern design effects out of it. In that case, there may be other page builders that better fit your needs. In fact, I have made a video that compares 11 different page builders on all of these different points. So if you want to be exposed to some of the other options out there, that is definitely something for you to look at. Now, all of that being said, the pros and the cons, when you go to my website, it's built with Beaver Builder and it's right here. And like I said, it's been a great experience. This page right here is built with Beaver Builder, and I've been grateful for Beaver Builder. I've been grateful for the Beaver Themer. And really right now, if you need those features that come with Beaver Themer, you have no other choice but to go with Beaver Builder to have that functionality. And that's kind of the category that I am in. Sure, there's other page builders I look at and they have other features that I really want, but right now I also have to keep Beaver Builder because of Beaver Themer. So as you can see, the purpose of this video wasn't really to say you should go buy Beaver Builder or you shouldn't go buy Beaver Builder. It's more to give you information so that you can make that decision for yourself. However, if you are interested in buying Beaver Builder, I do have a training course called Beaver Builder Essentials. It's going to basically teach you how to build a beautiful website using Beaver Builder. There's even a whole section in there on Beaver Themer if that's something you are interested in. And the best part about this course is I give it to you for free if you purchase Beaver Builder through the link on my website. So you can go ahead and visit the video description box. There'll be a link. It's essentially WPCrafter.com/Beaver Builder. It'll take you to a page that has all the information about it on how to get access to that course. I sell it for $199, so it's a insane offer. If you've made it this far in the video, I should definitely have something to give you in return for it, and that is this course when you purchase Beaver Builder through the link on my website. Just WPCrafter.com/Beaver Builder. So, hey, I'd like to hear what you think about Beaver Builder. If you think I got some points wrong or if I left a few things out, pros or cons, go ahead and leave that down below. Let's have a civil discussion, though. I know people love their page builders, including me, but the fact is there's a lot of great page builders out there, and the only purpose of this video is to help you make the best decision for you and your circumstances based upon what you want and what your goals are. So thanks for sticking with me to the end. Thanks for watching this video. I'll see you in the next one.